So today in this video we will learn the explanation of the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. In this poem, the poet describes the miserable condition of the children who are studying in an elementary school classroom in a slum. They are malnourished and far away from a world which can give them freedom, prosperity and opportunities. So let's start with the poem. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn around their pillow, the tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper seeming boy. Far, far from gusty waves, far, far from. This is alliteration. The poet says that the children who are sitting in the school classroom in a slum, and that is far, far away from the winds or waves blowing strongly, means there is no open air, there is no freedom in the lives of these children. Like rootless weeds, like word suggests simile. Here, the children are compared to rootless weeds. Weeds means unwanted grass and rootless means having no base. So this is a simile. The hair torn around their pillow. Pallor means pale. Their faces are pale because they are poor. They are malnourished. And the face is covered with the hair which is uncombed and unkempt. The tall girl with her weighed down head. One of the girls in the class is taller or older as compared to other children. Her head is down because she is burdened with the responsibilities because of poverty. The paper seeming boy. Paper seeming boy is another metaphor. This refers to one more child who's sitting in the same class, but he is very thin. He is thin like a paper with rat's eyes, the stunted unlucky ear. There is another boy who has a deformed body, the stunted unlucky ear of twisted bones. His body is twisted. He has inherited this disease from his father. Reciting a father's gnarled disease means he has inherited this disease from his father. He has listened from his desk and he is revising his lessons from his desk because he is unable to stand. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, and in the same class one more boy is sitting at the backside, but he is unnoted. His face is sweet, young, his eyes live in a dream. Here his eyes are full of selfishness because he is dreaming of a beautiful world and the game of squirrels. So here this is just like an imagination for him because he knows that such type of life is far away from him. But then also the tree room can be a squirrel hole or a dwelling place in a tree which excites his imagination. So sitting in the same dingy class, he is full of imagination of a beautiful world which will remain just an imagination for him. On sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities. So the poet says that the walls of the classroom are creamish. They are yellow in color, creamish in color because they have not been painted since a long time. They are dirty. Donations, Shakespeare's head, and the walls are decorated with the things which are donated by rich people. So one thing is Shakespeare's portrait which is donated by the rich people. Then there is cloudless at dawn. One photograph is there. One photograph of civilized dome riding all cities. These all things are beautiful and these things do not have any base in the lives of these poor children. Build flowery Tyrolese Valley. Tyrolese Valley is a beautiful valley in Australia which is full of fragrance and flowers. So these children will never be able to enjoy or see these beautiful things. open-handed map. Then there is one open-handed map. This is also another metaphor. Awarding the world is a world. Means all these things are presenting a world which belongs to rich people, not to these poor children. And yet, for these children, these windows, not this map, their worlds. The poet says that for these children, these windows means this area, this dirty place which shows just unhygienic surroundings is their world, not the map which is full of color, beauty and brightness, where all their futures painted with the fog. Means their future is full of darkness because they do not have any opportunities or chances to flourish. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. Lead sky is another metaphor. Their surroundings are unhealthy and unhygienic. Far, far from ribbons, caves and stars of words. Means their life is away from ribbons or caves and stars of words. So that's why the poet says that these things are useless for these children because they will never be able to enjoy or see these beautiful things in their life. Next stanza is, surely Shakespeare is wicked. Here the poet refers to Shakespeare as wicked because for them Shakespeare has no value. They will never understand Shakespeare because they are so poor, they are so malnourished that they can never understand who Shakespeare. The map, a bad example, and the map of that world which is full of beauty, color, brightness, this is a bad example for them, with the ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. The poet says that such type of things, such type of paintings will tempt them to do crimes in life because they will also love to have a life which is full of beauty for them. For lives that slyly turn in their crammed holes, from fog to endless night, on their slag heap, the children wear skin peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel. Here, the children are so poor, they are so malnourished that even their skin can be seen, their bones can be counted, and spectacles of steel. So, one of the boys is wearing spectacle which is made of steel with mended glass, which is broken and mended with glass like bottle bits on stones. This is simile. Like word always refers to simile, like bottle bits on stones. Means this is mended and this can be more harmful for the child. All of their time and space are foggy slum. The poet says that their surroundings are unhygienic, they are dirty, and they lead a very pathetic and miserable life, which is always full of woes, wants, diseases, poverty and uncertainty. So blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Another simile. Here the poet says that his protests against social injustice and class inequalities, he wants the islands of prosperity to be flooded with the dirt and stink of the slums so that these children could also get a chance to enjoy the beauties of world. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. So here the poet makes an appeal to all the people. The poet invokes the governor, inspector and visitor because they are the powerful people who can bring about a drastic change in the miserable life of these slum children. They can definitely remove the social injustice and class inequalities that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Break, oh break open till they break the town. So the poet says that these inequalities, these barriers should be broken. Otherwise, these children will revolt against us. run azure as gold on sands, and let their tongues run naked into books, the white and green leaves open. History theirs whose language is the sun. So the poet says that they should break all the barriers and obstacles that bind these children and confine them to ugly and dirty surroundings. So, till they come out of the dirty surroundings and slums of the town and come out to the green field and breathe in the open air. They also have the right to enjoy. And show the children to green fields and make their world run azure as gold sands, and let their tongues run naked into books, the white and green leaves open. So here the poet says, their world will be extended to the gold sands and azure waves as well as to the green fields. They should enjoy freedom of acquiring knowledge as well as freedom of expression. They too have the right to express their thoughts. Let the pages of wisdom be open to them and let their tongues run freely without any check or fear. So the most important part is we have to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. Only then these children can enjoy all the beauties of the world. They will also get equal opportunity to enhance their life, to enhance their abilities, their potential and their capabilities, and this can become their window only when the difference between the two worlds is abridged, and this will be done by the people who are powerful, because they can only give them a life which can move them to a new world of prosperity, not of crime. So these windows have crammed their lives, stunted their physical and mental growth, shutting them inside filthy and dingy holes. So it is very important that we break these windows. I hope you understood this exhortation. Thank you so much.